The U.S. says Iran's missile power is functionally destroyed, yet missiles are still flying across the Middle East. Air defenses are on alert, cities are issuing warnings, and drones keep appearing in the sky. So, here's the big question. If Iran's missile force is crushed, how is it still attacking? The White House says U.S. and Israeli strikes have crippled Iran's missile and drone network, hundreds of launchers destroyed, drone factories targeted, airspace dominated. Washington calls the operation a massive success, but events on the ground tell a more complicated story. Missiles are still being launched. Qatar recently intercepted another incoming strike. Sirens sounded across the Gulf. And in Abu Dhabi, a missile strike reportedly hit a car, killing one person. The attacks are smaller now, but they haven't stopped. Early in the war, Iran fired hundreds of missiles and drones in a single day. Now just a handful. Pentagon estimates show missile launches down 90% and drone attacks down 86%. But even a few launches can keep millions of people on edge. Iran once had around 3,000 ballistic missiles, the largest arsenal in the region. Airstrikes have destroyed many launch sites, but experts say not all of them. Missiles were hidden before the war, inside tunnels, remote areas, and civilian locations. That makes them hard to find and harder to eliminate. Iran's biggest advantage now is mobility. Instead of fixed launch bases, missiles can be fired from mobile launchers that move quickly and disappear. That means attacks may be smaller, but they're much harder to stop. Military experts say Iran has switched tactics. Instead of massive barrages, it fires one or two missiles at a time. This is called harassment fire. The goal isn't massive destruction. The goal is to exhaust defenses, trigger alarms, and keep populations under pressure. Another weapon keeping Iran in the fight: cheap drones. The Shatter 136 can be built quickly and launched in large numbers. They're slow, about 185 kilometers per hour, but they're cheap and disposable. And if just one drone slips through, it can cause major damage. Iran's strategy goes beyond missiles. Disrupt shipping, threaten oil routes, trigger global panic. The Strait of Hormuz carries 20% of the world's energy supply. Even the fear of attacks has already pushed oil prices above $100 a barrel. Experts say this conflict may turn into a war of attrition. Iran believes its enemies might run out of defensive interceptors before it runs out of cheap missiles and drones. In other words, this is now a race against time. If you want more breakdowns on global conflicts and the stories behind the headlines, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next update.